Hey guys, and welcome back to Memecoin Academy. On today's episode, we are going to be going through the fixed range volume profile, or FRVP, and how we can utilize this tool on trading meme coins. If you like what you see today, please hit the like and subscribe button and follow our channel for more videos. First of all, we're going to have a quick look at this diagram here, and I'll give you a brief explanation on what the fixed range volume profile is. So the FRVP, as it's known, is an advanced tool that plays a key role in assessing market activity. So it basically provides a comprehensive view of the market by shedding light on trading volume and price data over specific time periods, right? But look, unlike traditional price-based indicators, the fixed range volume profile incorporates volume data and offers a deeper insight into market liquidity and supply demand, right? Represented by these horizontal bars in the middle here. And there are various price levels within this range. And they're typically from, say, one key swing point to another. It shows areas of high and low activities and helps traders spot areas where the market has spent considerable time and where it traded, mostly time, right? So what are the components of the fixed range? Well, on this diagram here, we have what's known as the value area. So the value area, which is between this value area high here, this blue line at the top, and this value area low down here, this blue line at the bottom, this area in the middle where these bars are, this is known as the value area, which is basically 70% of the volume, the value of the range that's pulled, right? So it doesn't incorporate the other 30%. It only incorporates an average of 70%. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing within this, we have what's known as the POC, or the point of control. And this area here is where the most volume has been traded within the specific range that has been pulled, right? So whichever range you pull this in, this point of control line will move based on where the most demand has been in that range, right? So the next thing we look at is the high volume nodes and the low volume nodes. So look, in meme coins, what I tend to focus on is just the value area, the point of control, and the value area high and value area low. This is what we're mostly focusing on. But one thing to take in consideration is these peaks, little peaks here. There's one there, and there's one here, and one here, right? Which are, they're known as your high value nodes, okay? Which are other high demand areas. Whereas these low value areas, these low volume nodes here, these troughs, this is where there's been a lot less demand. So there's something to pay attention to, but for meme coins, we're just going to focus on this value area, and I'm going to show you with a few examples how you can utilize this tool to have in your trading arsenal to find the best setups on meme coins. So what we're going to do is we are going to move across to Dex Screener, and I've picked out a few of these meme coins already, and I'll give you an example of the FRVP and how to use it and how to set it up, okay? So first of all, we'll look at Grok 2, right? Now, Grok 2 has been a very popular one of late, and it's had a quite a big pump recently. So we'll have a look at that, and we'll have a look at some other ones that have pumped recently too, and I'm going to show you how to find the best setups with this tool. So we'll open Grok and we'll have a look, okay? So first of all, what we want to do is we want to go across here to the toolbar on the left, and we want to scroll down to this section here, and we want to forecasting and measurement tools, right? Click that, and down here we have the fixed range volume profile tool here. So what I want to do is open that up, and we will basically, we'll just pick a point. So we want the magnet tool on down here on blue, and we'll take it from this very low point here, and we'll take it right across, just the whole range to start, right? Because I just want to give you an idea of how this thing's set up and how you can set it up to look like how I have it here. So what you want to do is just open it here, click on the settings tab, right, and bring it up here. Now, what you'll notice is when you bring up your VPFR on Deck Screener, you won't have the row size as I have here. You'll probably have it at like 24, which if I show you will look like this, right? And the bars will be quite big. So this isn't very, we need to customize this to make it better. It's not very good for meme coin trading or trading in general, having your bars this big, because it's not that accurate, right? Because we're generally trading on lower time frames, so we want to be able to see it in more detail. So we click on settings, and an average that I use for a row size is about 140. You can do 150, you can do 120. I find 140 to 150 is a good average number, right? So we enter that, and as you can see, click OK. You can see that the bars have gotten a lot smaller here. So it's a lot easier to see your high value nodes, one there, and your point of control, which is also a high value node, and these nodes and these ones here, and also the low value nodes, these troughs down below. But for now, we'll just focus on this range. Now, the next thing to focus on is the point of control here, and it shows you this red line where the most volume has traded, right? And this is a very important level, and one you need to take into consideration, right? And as you can see, along this whole trend here, it's being respected as a support and resistance level. Okay. Now, one thing that the fixed range volume profile doesn't show you on Deck Screener is the value area high levels up here, which is the top of this 70% range before it gets a bit like shaded in this shadow, and also the value area low. So if you use TradingView, or you're accustomed to using a platform like that, you'll know that these levels are already marked out for you. The lines already exist. But what we'll do is we'll mark them out ourselves. So once you pull your range across, right, we just go up here and we click this tab, and we go to our horizontal line, and just take the magnet tool off and just line up the line with the bottom of that range, and you can have it in blue. You can just make it a little bit smaller, put it into 1%, and there you have the bottom of our fixed range volume profile. We can also mark out the top up here. There we go. And there you have it. Just like the diagram we looked at before. Now you have your whole range of this token's history. Okay. So generally with these pulls, what you want to do is you want to take it from one swing point to another. For this example, we've taken the whole range. But if you want to say see the volume of just this range here, right, all you have to do is bring it back just to here, and there you can see it shows you the volume of this area. Now, how do we utilize this to find the best setups in Memecoins? Well, I'm going to show you very quickly how you can get in early and use this tool to find your entry points, right? So we'll just remove these blue lines here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the beginning, and I'll just show you now. So those settings should be saved, right? So how do we find our trade here? So I want to go down to a 5-minute chart, and I want to show you, we just have to scroll back. I want to show you how you can use this tool to find your setup. So this token's done very well. And how old is it? It's what? Only a day and a half old, right? So how could have you found an entry here, or let's say along here, to write it up for big gains? Okay, well, let's see. So what we do is we put our magnet tool on. We have our fixed range volume profile here, which is saved, but it's this one here. And we take it from the very low, right? And what I want to do is I just want to see this range here, right? So if we were looking for an entry, right, around this area somewhere, we would have pulled our fixed range to probably about here, okay? So right there, we can see But the point of control is coming in here, right down below. So this isn't very helpful for us at the moment. So we'll pull it across a bit more. Let's see where that comes in. It comes in about here. So let's see. We'll drag it forward a bit more. And we just want to see what is happening here. So as you can see here, from this swing high to this basically swing low, we can see that the bottom of this fixed range volume profile comes right down the bottom here. Okay, we can mark that out. So we'll mark that out, take the magnet tool off. Okay, we'll mark that, and look at that. See, swing high to swing low, it shows you exactly where the bottom of the value area low comes in. And what happens to price? It comes down, it respects this level, it swings under it, and then it comes back above and finds support, and then goes. So, as one level of confluence, there's an entry for a trade. Basically right there, okay? That's an entry we can use, that level we can use for a trade. Now, once again, with these methods I'm showing you, you don't want to trade just off this indicator alone. You never just want to trade off one indicator. You want to be trading off several. You want several tools. You want, many levels of confluence to give you higher probabilities to enter these trades. So what I would be, backing this up with is your Fibonacci retracement tools, your support and resistance levels, and also what I utilize a lot is the on balance volume, right? It's very handy. So OBV, which gives us an indication of volume and what it's doing. So at this point in time, once it reclaims this level here, right, volume starts increasing. Volume's starting to go up. So there's an added confluence for our trade. It gives us, a bit more peace of mind that we're on the right track, right? So we're looking for these confirmations. Now, what we want to do is we'll just pull that down for a second and get rid of that. And I want to drag this fixed range volume profile across for the whole range, okay? And I want to see what we can see as we pull along here, okay? Now, I'll pull it back to see what happens here. Now, one thing that's very interesting about this, and I'm sure you can see already, is here is a confluence. And that first example, would I have taken a trade off that? Possibly not. Looking at this now, this second range, or the range that I've pulled of this whole area, gives me more confidence for a trade. And I'll show you why. So we've pulled it from this low across to this whole range, right? So what I want to do again is I want to mark out the value area low. And let's just mark that out, right? And let's see where price came back to respect in this whole range. And look at that. What do you know? It's come right back to our value area low. And what is it supported by? Well, it's supported by, I'll show you here, it's supported by increasing volume. Right here. Increasing volume. Up she goes. Now, if you'd missed this trade, or you didn't feel it gave you enough conviction to enter here, well, the next most important level, and probably an even more stronger level for a trade, which give me the most conviction for entry, would be right here on this point of control. Because once price gets back above this red line, this point of control, and finds support on it, on this increasing volume, well, that right there, that gives me confidence for an entry, okay? And that gives me confidence that price is going to head up further, because technically, what are we trading here? We're trading a supply and demand range, okay? This is technically a range, a 70% range of this area. So in range theory, once you reclaim a range level, right? So let's say we've come up and we've reclaimed this level. Well, the first level that you're going to encounter resistance is this point of control right here, right? And it's done that. But range theory suggests that once you reclaim that, well, your next obvious target is the top of the value area of the range. And that's exactly what it did. And it's come up and it's found resistance here. It's come down and then it's broken it here and carried on. So this is why this tool is vitally important to use on meme coins, because you can use it to map out your entry points and your take profit areas, right? And it also will give you a better idea of where price is going to go once it breaks through these levels, right? So we'll have a look at another one. That was Grok 2. So let's have a look at another token that I've mapped out. Let's have a look here. So the next one I'm going to look at is Ponkei, Chinese Ponkei. And what we want to do is this token's been, going for a few days now. I think it's been going for, nearly 3.5 days. And it's had some very considerable gains. So we want to go back to the start and we want to see where we could possibly find an entry for this, right? Just using this one tool. So we'll once again, magnet tool on, fixed range volume profile. We'll take it from the very high here, right, the very start, and we'll drag it across to here before it pumps, right? Now what can you see straight up? Well, what I can see here is the value area low of this range comes in right down the bottom here. So if we take a horizontal line and we mark out the bottom of this level, right, what you can see is price perfectly respects this value area low. It comes down, it touches it here, comes up above the point of control, finds it as resistance, and then comes down and finds this value area low as support. It sweeps under and then comes back above. And once she comes back above, price just takes off on increasing volume. Boom, off she goes. So I'll bring up the OBV again, right? And if we went down to a smaller chart, a lower time frame, we'd be able to see that volume increased here quite dramatically, and off she went. And it's as easy as that. Obviously, you want to use this in conjunction with your other indicators, but as you can see here, once it got back above this value area low, price just took off, right? All because it respected the bottom of this 70% area. And as you can see, it didn't even reject off the point of control, it just went straight through. So if you had to put an entry in down here somewhere, this would have been, let's have a look, take our price range tool, you would have ridden this up, well, considerable amount, nearly 1,000%, just by using this tool, looking at your range, dragging it across, and finding your entry on increasing volume, right? That's how simple it is. You could have done that with this one indicator, this one tool, and the indicator of volume on the OBV. Okay, now we'll look at one more, and I'll give you one more example, and we're going to look at Kult. Right, so Kult has also been a very good one. It's been going for 11 days, 11.5 days. So this one's got a lot more volume and a lot more data we can go off. So let's see where we can find where Kult has got. So this one's gone up to about 6 million. Okay, so where could we have found an entry on Kult? Okay, so we're just going to go back, wait for it to load. Have a squeeze here. Keep going. This one's been going for a while, so it's taking a little bit longer. Okay, now this is the start, right? This is where we want to be. So if you had been looking at, this token back around the 2nd of August to the 4th of August, right? What you would have done is taken this fixed range volume profile with your magnet tool, and what we want to look at is just this range at the start, right? Just this range across to here, okay? And what can you see there? What you can see there is if we put the bottom of the value area low on this range here, we'll take the magnet tool off because it gets a bit jittery when we have data across. We put it right on the bottom of this value area low, and what do you see? Price comes under, right? It plays around with the point of control. It comes under the value area low. It finds it as support and then takes off, right? She takes off and it doesn't come back and revisit it. And it finds support on increasing volume, right? So we'll put our on balance volume again, which loves to disappear on deck screener all the time, right? And as you can see here, volume, it's being a bit glitchy at the moment, volume, right, increases as on this reclaim. See how it reclaims? Right here, and volume increases. There's your entry, right? All because it reclaimed this value area low of this whole range. So this was what? 5 days worth of volume and 5 days worth of data, which you just mapped out. And once price got back into the 70% area and found support on this value area low, if you just coupled that with an increase in volume, you had a perfect confluence for an entry. Okay, perfect, right? And obviously what you want to do in this scenario is have levels of confluence. So we'd add, our Fibonacci retracement. We'll see where that comes in just for reference, right? How does that line up? Comes in, bounces perfectly off the 786 here. Gets back above the 618 after this pump. That's a beautiful spot for an entry, right? So let's just take that retracement off and let's just drag it forward. Get rid of this, and we'll see where this comes in. Get rid of that as well. And we'll see where, if we drag all the way forward, we'll see if we can find another entry. And look at that right there. So, as you can see, price respects the value area low, which is still where it was, right there, for an entry here on increasing volume, right there. Price comes up. You could have taken profits up at this level here, right? And then ridden it back down. Now, one thing about this area down here is that price comes back down, and where does it respect? Where does it respect? It comes back and it finds perfect support, just front runs the POC. And as it comes down, it finds support on the POC. Volume increases even more, and off she goes. So you have 2 levels of confluence for an entry here. Just with price re-entering the 70% area of this range, finding support on the value area low, then coming back down and finding support basically on the POC. Just front running it by a little bit, but coming down and finding support on it. Now, if we had have used this tool to find our entry here, let's just see how far we could have ridden this up, right? Let's have a look here. We could have ridden this tool, the price with this tool. Let's see, we'll go to our price range tool, and let's just say we took it from this POC and we took it all the way up. Now, let's see. Let's just see if we took it up to the top here. That's nearly 2,000%. 2,000%. All from taking the fixed range volume profile of this range, combining it with your on balance volume, right? Finding your entry, finding and letting it play out and show us a sign of strength, right? Entering the trade and letting it ride up 2,000%. It's really that simple. And it just goes to show you how effective this tool is and what's so important to use it to help map out your volume areas on these meme coins, because it's very hard to find your volume areas on these meme coins when they move so fast, right? We're generally looking at these on a 1, 3, 5, 15 minute time frame really early, right? And this gives us the ability to really get to have a look in these areas of what's going on and where our supply and our demand areas are, right? You're basically mapping out this area and it's showing you your levels. It's showing you where your strong support is. It's showing you where your resistance is, right? Where you should be taking your trades and where you should be locking in profits, okay? Super easy to use. I strongly recommend you start playing around with this. Change the settings, change your bar settings, and just use this tool. Just take some pulls of your own, right? Choose some meme coins and just play around with it and see how it works. And you'll soon become very comfortable with using this tool in your trading arsenal. So I hope that was helpful for you today, and I will see you on the next episode. Thanks for joining us.